Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
All right, I'm back with you. As I promised, I want to play you the Attorney General, Reginald Amor SC. Attorney General, he hosted a press conference yesterday. And one of the reasons why I wanted to play back his press conference is because exactly what I was talking about yesterday and how I presented the matter to you all yesterday, the Attorney General didn't do anything different, you know. He did nothing different. Nothing different he did. And I really want to share it because there's something that was that you know and before I play it, before I play the Attorney General, there's something I wanted to do. Because you see, I know that there are a lot of persons listening, and I want you all to call in and tell me if you believe if this video has anything to do with Dr. Rowley, or you view Dr. Rowley in this light. Answer me this question, because, and I really want to hear from the callers, if you all view the present Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, in this light. Because I don't. I'm bold enough to say I don't. And I would like to ask you all, because this video, you know, making its rounds around social media, and people, and it's not a new video, right? So let me just say that one time. So those of you who feel it's something, it's a man talking about Africa, and he's talking about African leaders. So I want you to listen to him, and you tell me if this in any way, you in any way could see the Prime Minister in this light. All right? So you tell me. I'm not afraid to play it. I am big, as Uncle Sterling say, a big man thing. Listen to this.
One of Africa's biggest cancers is that Africans, for whatever reason, seem insistent on electing leaders who've built nothing and then wonder why they build nothing.
So let me ask you the first question. So he's talking about African leaders in Africa, but they want to attribute it to, you know, Dr. Rowley or Mr. Manning or Mr. Chambers or Dr. Eric Williams. Listen to the leaders are calling again. Dr. Eric Williams, Chambers, Mr. Manning, Dr. Rowley. You first of all, he said that they built nothing. Dr. Rowley built nothing. Let's go back. Because there are people who really brainwash themselves to believe some stupidness, you know. So listen to it again. And I want you to comment on the channel, YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, make your comments. Tell me yes, no, or Google, move on. Nonsense. Let's go. Listen,
One of Africa's biggest cancers is that Africans, for whatever reason, seem insistent on electing leaders who've built nothing and then wonder why they build nothing. You've built nothing. You've created nothing.
Okay, we're going to create it now. Dr. already created a ministry called the Ministry of Youth and National Service. And you all are, a lot of persons are boasting and complimenting the minister on the work that he's doing. Created nothing, built nothing. When you go by the new hospital in Port of Spain, what are you seeing happening there? When you go to Point 14, when you go to Sandy Grande, when you go to San Fernando and you watch the old hospital and the renovations that are happening there, when you go to built nothing, created nothing, really? What's happening with the oil and gas deal in Venezuela? Let's go. I tell you, don't send foolishness to me and feel that I am afraid. Never scared.
But for your words and political oratory, your ability to hold a tune and sing a verse, your ability to fill a stadium with poor people on the promise of a food hamper and a t-shirt.
Dr. Leaders do that? We know people who does do that.
And then we vote for you. And we wonder why you don't know how to build roads or houses.
Point 14, highway. Houses? Really? Who's the best housing minister we ever had in this country? I'm taking some calls. 342-0081 to the person who sent me this video. Wrong leader, brethren. Wrong leader. You understand? So that aspect of leadership doesn't fall on Dr. Rowley. I'm taking some calls. If you agree with him, let me know. If you disagree with the video, let me know. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You see, people, especially our black people, Guadalupe, I don't know what is wrong with them. They're easy to get fooled. And why they get fooled? Because the heart is evil. Right? Because remember the Bible says, evil shall slay the wicked, and all those that hate righteousness shall be desolate. And this is what we're going on with my people. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Anything that is right, they want to make it as if it is wrong, and they're preaching that it is wrong.
Yeah.
So nothing pleases them,
Yeah.
because their mind are evil.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man.
I'm going with that.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Tell me, what do you think about, does Dr. Oli fall into that category of black leaders that fella talking about?
Pastor Google, come now, man. We have a king of a man, boy. We have a king of a leader.
Okay.
Pastor Google. We have, from your name, from the foundation, right up. We have built Trinidad and Tobago, Pastor Google. And now checking in with the numbers, your name out, and I put two more with it, and these two never built nothing in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh.
We have a boss of a leader and leaders, Pastor Google.
Oh.
Where Trinidadians want again, Pastor Google?
I didn't know, boy.
Well, boy, failure be the portion, the strongest, Pastor Google. Failure be the portion, but I will go anywhere and boast. We have a boss, a king of a leader in Trinidad and Tobago. Pastor Google, you have a blessed and peaceful day for me. Please, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. So I'm going again. I'm going to play over his video. I'm going to play it straight to the end, but I wanted to just identify for you guys. I wanted to listen, eh? Because they're saying that, you know, listen to this.
One of Africa's biggest cancers is that Africans, for whatever reason, seem insistent on electing leaders who've built nothing.
So my question is, has Dr. Oli built nothing? I tell you, just had to go right by this. You just had to go right by the Port of Spain General Hospital right now. Just go right there, right now, and see if he built nothing. Ask the people in Sandy Grande, with the new hospital that they got, if he built nothing. How many houses that we living in Pleasantville and all over was built when Dr. Oli was the Minister of Housing? Built nothing. Skinner's Park, he built nothing. Point 14 Hospital, can we call out things? The Magnificent Seven, he built nothing. The president's house that they were going to condemn, the red house that they're saying down in, he built nothing. We really want to go there?
and then wonder why they build nothing. You've built...
Really? You want to go with creativity? Huh? He started 2 new ministries, and the ministry for the young people of Trinidad and Tobago to be able to get a skill. He created nothing. Huh? He went on to talk about something else.
But for your words and political oratory, your ability to hold a tune and sing a verse, your ability to fill a stadium with poor people on the promise of a food hamper and a t-shirt. And then we vote for you. And we wonder why you don't know how to build roads.
Don't know how to build roads? Take you about 20 minutes or less to reach the point 14. And you don't know how to build roads? Huh?
Or houses.
Or
Balance a
houses?
budget. Or just...
Or houses? So I'll continue. Well, he said to balance a budget, and we know fully well that he knows that he knows to balance a budget.
Make sure that crime and law and order is in place. We elect clowns and then give them the seat of the headmaster's office.
So, I'll take about 2 or 3 more calls. 342-008-1466. Do you agree with the narrative and nonsense that you fall into that category? He doesn't. The Prime Minister we have today don't fall nowhere close to that category. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Remember, brother, good luck. With Jesus Christ and his own people, what they have done with him for doing good. You know that?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing that's going on right now today. No matter what good Dr. Awari do, the crucified Dr. Awari. But thank God, the Holy Spirit of God is with that man. I go on with that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so I wanted to play you the Attorney General statements or his press conference from yesterday. And there's a reason why I want to play this, because yesterday they say I was making noise on the radio for no reason now. Well, at least the Attorney General didn't think so, because apparently he was listening to the show. Listen to this. Join me on the live. Take a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, good afternoon, members of the listening and viewing public. 2 recent judgments have been delivered by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council concerning the Estate Management Development Company Limited and various contractors and individuals, which have attracted a considerable amount of media attention and have been the subject of comment by Mr. Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, Senior Counsel, and by Member of Parliament and former Line Minister for the EMBD, the Honorable Dr. Rudal Munilal. The first matter, High Court Action number 01415 of 2017, involves a claim between the EMBD and different contractor companies and individuals, in which the EMBD is seeking to recover in excess of $300 million, which were paid out by the EMBD in the months immediately preceding the September 7th, 2015 general election, which I shall hereafter refer to as the cartel claim. The second matter involves a claim by the company, Junior Sammy Contractors Limited, against the EMBD with respect to monies allegedly due by the EMBD to the Junior Sammy Company under a contract awarded to that company by the EMBD in February 2015. I shall refer to that matter as the Junior Sammy Company matter. This claim has now been successfully affirmed by the Privy Council yesterday, 29th October 2024. I issued a media statement on the 22nd of October 2024 with respect to the order of the Privy Council of the 8th of October 2024 in the cartel claim, which now allows the trial of EMBD's claim to commence. The significance of the order of the Privy Council in the cartel claim is that the defendant contractors and individuals must now put in their defenses by the 6th of November, on hold since December 2017, and that trial can now proceed. Respecting as I do that the cartel claim is a trial which is about to start, I have so far restrained myself from commenting on the claim and the facts in support of the EMBD's claim in that matter, given sub judice principles. However, in the context of the comments which have been made on those two matters, and particularly since yesterday and the ensuing media coverage, I consider it prudent today to make this further statement to have the record stated correctly. Context is always important. The context which is relevant and common to both matters is that on the 7th of September 2015, the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago changed from a People's Partnership government to that of the People's National Movement, now in its 10th year of office, and in which I have the privilege to serve as Attorney General. The contextual significance of that election date, 7th September 2015, is that in large measure, all the very lucrative contracts which were awarded by the EMBD in those two matters were awarded in the months leading up to that general election. The line minister of the EMBD in that period of awards was the Honorable Dr. Rudal Munilal, I beg his pardon. I am constrained today to make the statements that I now do with respect to those two matters, particularly for the reason that since the delivery of the Privy Council's order on the 8th of October, under which he now contemplates the witness box for his trial, the Honorable Dr. Munilal has been issuing statements in the public. In particular, since the judgment yesterday, he has been conflating, and I emphasize the word conflating, mixing up the two matters in a condemnation of the legitimate and justifiable attempts by this government to recover monies in excess of $300 million, which were paid out by the EMBD, allegedly wrongly and fraudulently in the cartel claim when he was the EMBD's line minister. It is important that the public understands that because of the vast expenditure of money paid out by the EMBD prior to that general election, on the change of government on the 7th of September 2015, the EMBD commissioned a significant process of audits and expert investigation and reports to verify the legitimacy of the expenditure of taxpayers' money. In the cartel claim, I do not propose to discuss nor comment on the alleged facts which are still to be interrogated at the trial, which will now finally commence after being on hold since 2017. I will, however, read from certain paragraphs of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, which was given on the 6th of August 2020. I will read from paragraphs 6, 7, 8, 13, and 14 of the judgment of Mr. Justice Abood. And may I say that I have asked my team to make copies of the judgments to which I will refer in this media statement and leave them with you members of the media so that you can verify the accuracy of that which I am going to refer to in those judgments of the High Court and the Privy Council. So if I may start with paragraph 6 of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, delivered on the 6th of August 2020. Quote, on the 12th of October 2017, EMBD filed a defense and counterclaim to each of the claims. In brief, EMBD alleges that the three claimants colluded among themselves and with the other defendants in the related action, and were involved in an unlawful means conspiracy, which led to the award of 12 contracts and the payment of over $300 million for defective and overpriced work. It is said that the cartel ensured that specific companies were awarded specific contracts at inflated amounts and received monies that were not due for defective and irremediable and/or useless works. Paragraph 7. By way of a general summary, the claims are grounded in A, the tort of unlawful means conspiracy on the part of the three claimants and the other parties named in the related action, namely the three EMBD contractors, Rudal Munilal, a former government minister, and three senior EMBD officers who held offices prior to the change of government in September 2015. B, breach of fiduciary duty on the part of Dr. Munilal and the three senior officers of EMBD. C, knowing receipt and dishonest assistance. D, declarations that the alleged contracts are void or otherwise non-existent as a matter of agency law. E, an account of all the monies paid to the three claimants, together amounting to over $101 million. In the case of a company named, EMBD added, and person named, the principal of that company is a second defendant to the counterclaim and made an additional claim in bribery against him and the named person. The names are there. When you read the judgment, I will leave it to you to determine how much of it you publish. Paragraph 8. EMBD is what is called, quote, a special purpose company, unquote, in Trinidad and Tobago parlance. It is incorporated under the Companies Act. It is a state-owned entity with a politically appointed board. And I skip one line. It goes on to say in paragraph 8, at the material time, EMBD reported to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, of which Dr. Munilal was the then minister. In our vernacular, he is called, quote, the line minister, unquote. Amongst other things, EMBD is mandated to sublease agricultural state lands, manage and develop lands formerly owned by Carolee 1975 Limited, and to develop residential sites on those lands. So that's paragraphs 6, 7, and 8. I go next, ladies and gentlemen, to paragraph 13 of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, as he then was. He is now Mr. Justice James Abood, Justice of Appeal. Paragraph 13. As said earlier, the first defendant, Dr. Munilal, was the line minister. EMBD reported to him or his ministry, and he entered to the cabinet. The second defendant, name called, was at all material times EMBD's acting chief executive officer, CEO, and later, during the period when it is alleged that the conspiracy was in full-blown operation, he was appointed its CEO. At all material times, the third defendant, name called, was EMBD's divisional manager projects, and for the period 27th July to 7th August 2015, its acting CEO. The fourth defendant, name called, was EMBD's resident engineer. All four of these defendants are alleged to be part of the cartel arrangements. As will be examined in greater detail below, it is EMBD's pleaded case that Dr. Munilal operated like EMBD's virtual puppeteer, controlling and directing Mr. name called to award the EMBD contracts, or some of them, and directing the delivery of EMBD checks to him personally for onward delivery to the EMBD contractors, excluding and companies excluded. And there are 6 more lines to paragraph 13 that I'm not going to read, but you will have the judgment. You can review it in your leisure. Paragraph 14. It is the EMBD's case that the claimants in the consolidated action and the 2 contractors in the related actions enriched themselves by procuring EMBD contracts, certifications, and payments by way of collusion between themselves and Dr. Munilal and Messrs, and 3 names are called, so that through unlawful means and in breach of the fiduciary duties owed to EMBD by its officers and those owed to the Republic by Dr. Rudal Munilal, specific companies were awarded specific contracts at greatly inflated contract prices and received excessive and unjustified payments for works that were incomplete or defective or both. End of quote, paragraph 14. Those are the paragraphs of Justice James Aboud's judgment that I draw to your attention, and as I have said, I will be leaving copies of that judgment for you members of the media. I will say nothing further on that. I will allow the trial to proceed when the defenses are put in on the 6th of November, and allow our courts to make their determinations in due course with respect to the claim of EMBD to recover over $300 million of taxpayers' money. It is very important, ladies and gentlemen, to distinguish the cartel claim from the second matter, the second judgment that was delivered yesterday, also involving the EMBD. I should make it clear that nothing pronounced on by way of the Privy Council in that matter involving the EMBD and Mr. Junior Sammy's company affects the merits of the case that the EMBD is going to trial on in the cartel claim against Dr. Munilal or any of the other defendants in that matter. Mr. Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, Senior Counsel, a former respected Attorney General, appeared for Mr. Junior Sammy and his group of companies in that second matter, the Junior Sammy matter. He has held a press conference, which I have listened to. I congratulate Mr. Maharaj and Mr. Junior Sammy on their victory in the courts. Due process has taken its course. I take the trouble, however, to highlight 3 points which were not sufficiently addressed by Mr. Maharaj in his press conference yesterday with reference to the 29th October Privy Council judgment in the Junior Sammy matter. 1. Paragraph 9 of that judgment refers to the fact that, if I might just get that judgment out, attorneys for the EMBD conceded the fraudulent claim against Mr. Junior Sammy. Let me just get my papers properly organized here. So if you look at paragraph 9 of that particular judgment, you will see the passage in which the Privy Council records the fact that attorneys representing the EMBD in that matter conceded. This is what is said in the last 3 lines of the EMBD judgment in the Junior Sammy matter. This is not a sufficient basis on which to allege fraud. Thus, counsel on behalf of the employer, that is to say EMBD, correctly conceded during the hearing before the board that the defense should not be read as pleading a positive case of fraud. So to the extent that Mr. Munilal is seeking to combine his case, which is coming for trial, with the case against Mr. Junior Sammy, and to rely on anything said by the Privy Council in the Junior Sammy judgment, which was delivered yesterday involving a case of fraud, it will not assist him when he takes the witness box. It was prudent, in my respectful view, for the EMBD, against the background of the rush to award contracts leading up to the general election in September 2015, to have thoroughly audited all claims at the point at which the audit revealed that there was insufficient evidence to support the allegations of fraud, and that was in due course properly conceded. We remember that what I had said at the earlier stage of this media statement, this media address, is that after the general election, when the governments changed, the EMBD commissioned a number of audits and expert investigations because they were very concerned to ascertain the state of all of the contracts which had been awarded. Among the contracts which had been awarded was a contract to the Junior Sammy group of companies, but in due course, as counsel for the EMBD has conceded, that part of the case was not specified as being fraud and was conceded at the Privy Council. The second point of difference that I make between what I say here today and what is in the record as having been said by my learned friend, Mr. Ramesh Maharaj. He correctly pointed out that the Privy Council judgment is very important for its pronouncements with respect to FIDIC contracts. FIDIC contracts are specialized contractor contracts that govern the construction industry. And he is correct that there is significant statements in that judgment that will guide contractors in Trinidad and Tobago going forward on the proper regulation and interpretation of FIDIC contracts. I noticed at the end of his press conference yesterday, he remarked that his client, Mr. Junior Sammy, has committed to hosting a working conference either towards the end of this year or into early next year, in which Mr. Junior Sammy, is going to fund a conference course for contractors to sit down and to listen to experts in the law, including the legal team who represented Mr. Junior Sammy before the Privy Council, so that they can explain to contractors in Trinidad and Tobago the significance and meaning and proper construction of FIDIC contracts. And I applaud that. I think that it is our civic duty as citizens all to contribute to our understanding of the operating instruments by which we do business with each other. As Attorney General, I applaud that, and I offer here publicly to Mr. Ramesh Maharaj any assistance that he might wish to call on me to give in order to assist him in that conference. I say all of that, however, to make this distinguishing point between myself and Mr. Maharaj's comments yesterday with respect to the other significance of the judgment of the Privy Council in the Junior Sammy matter. And I'm leaving copies of it with you all. I saw in his press conference, he said he was sending it to the media, but I've had hard copies made, and I will leave them to you. I ask you all to read paragraphs 53 to 89 of that judgment. 36 paragraphs. A very significant and difficult point was interrogated by the Privy Council, brought to the Privy Council by the EMBD in the appeal that was dismissed yesterday. And that very significant point had to do with the construction, the proper construction of Section 32, subsection 7 of our Supreme Court of Judicature Act, and a number of documents that were before the courts of Trinidad and Tobago and the Privy Council on the simple question, and Mr. Maharaj did deal with the fact that the Junior Sammy group of companies had borrowed a significant sum of money from the Answer Merchant Bank. And as collateral for the loan that they took from the Answer Merchant Bank, they gave a charge to the Answer Merchant Bank over the assets of the Junior Sammy group of companies. And one of the points that was taken by the EMBD all the way to the Privy Council was that the quality of that charge was what is called an absolute charge. Read Section 23, subsection 7 of the Supreme Court of Judicature Act, and you will understand what is meant by an absolute charge. It would mean that the Answer Merchant Bank would step into the shoes of Junior Sammy. They would have taken over the entire responsibility for the debt, and therefore, if anybody was to have sued the EMBD to recover the debt, it should have been the Answer Merchant Bank and not Junior Sammy. And therefore, the point legitimately that was taken by the EMBD in its defense to the Junior Sammy claim is that you, Mr. Junior Sammy group of companies, are the wrong party to bring this claim against us. It should have been brought by the Answer Merchant Bank. And this is what the Privy Council said at paragraph 63. The relevant instruments in this case, which required to be construed as a rule or the factoring agreement of the assignment of receivables and the notice of assignment, the true construction of these documents is not straightforward, as they lack coherence and are not well drafted. And there are several indicators that the assignment was intended to take effect as an absolute assignment, but there are other several indicators that the assignment was by way of charge only. The Privy Council spent 36 paragraphs examining this issue before it finally construed that the Section 23(7) as applied to those documents did not constitute an absolute charge, and therefore Junior Sammy could properly have brought the case against the Privy Council. That was what is known to us lawyers and what is accepted by any common sense person as a strong, arguable case. And the EMBD had every right to take that point all the way to the Privy Council and to ask for a ruling on it. So I make that second distinction between myself and my good friend, learned friend, Mr. Maraj, to make the point that the case was not only about the FIDIC contract, it was about another very important issue which the Privy Council spent 36 paragraphs ruling on. And the third point that I want to make, which was not mentioned by Mr. Maraj, but which I think is important, and I don't say this to allocate any blame or responsibility. I have great respect for Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, but it is a relevant consideration. In the context of that which is being said by persons that the EMBD has wasted taxpayers' money in defending this case, which I reject, for the public to understand that as early as the 17th of August 2020, the attorneys representing the EMBD paid part of the disputed sum of money to the tune of $87 million to Mr. Sammy's attorneys. So since the 17th of August 2020, attorneys representing the EMBD paid $87 million of Junior Sammy's claim to his attorneys, and on that day paid a further sum of $37,424,772.80 into court to be put into an interest-bearing account pending the determination of these appeals. So this was not a frivolous appeal by the EMBD. This was a serious appeal. There were serious issues of law to be addressed, but in the interest of fairness and prudence, they paid to Junior Sammy what they conceded was his right, and they paid the disputed balance into court to be put into an interest-bearing account so that at the end of the day, when the case was determined, that money, that $37 million figure would be allocated to the rightful owner. As of yesterday's date, that money, with the interest that it has earned, will now be paid over from the court, the Supreme Court, to Mr. Junior Sammy. And I emphasize that to make the point that the EMBD has been prudent and responsible and has not wasted taxpayers' money, as certain persons, who I shall not continue to name, because I have to call them honorable, in pursuing these matters. In the pursuit of the cartel claim, which the defendants, Dr. Munilal included, are now ordered to put in their defenses, the EMBD will continue to pursue its claim to recover in excess of $300 million for the taxpayers of this country. And I want to go on record to thank the chairman, Mr. Ronnie Mohammed, and all the attorneys who have so far labored long and hard in the vineyard and will continue to do so to bring home that $300 million claim for the taxpayers of this country. Thank you, and I will now take questions.
IAG, good afternoon. Derek Atcham from Guardian Media Limited here. I think you touched on the point towards the end, but both Mr. Maraj and you must not be named, it would have raised concerns over the amount of legal costs that EMBD and ultimately the state would incur in pursuing claims and defending them. You know, is the situation where, you know, your office has to decide based on the nature of the claim, how much is at stake, the strength and arguability of the case that will determine, you know, the number of senior counsels, or if King's Counsel will be required for the case. I think what they were alleging is the legal team was so large and to pursue this. I don't think there was nuance in terms of the sense of why such a legal team would be needed to defend and pursue complex matters such as these.
Well, I'm not sure, Mr. Achong, exactly what you're asking me. Are you asking me whether I support the retaining of attorneys by the EMBD to defend the claim against Mr. Junior Sammy? Are you asking me whether I support the retaining of attorneys to pursue the cartel claim to recover $300 million from Dr. Rudilal, Munilal, and others? What exactly are you asking me?
What I'm asking is, I mean, I think what they are alleging is that, you know, you don't need such a powerful team for these matters because it will incur costs inevitably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you
well, it's always, so, okay, I understand the question. It's always a judgment call on the part of any client, and in certain cases, I am the client as Attorney General. In other cases, the EMBD is the client. In this case, the EMBD was actually the one who retained attorneys, and in one other case, I was the Attorney General who retained attorneys. And in fact, it would have been my predecessor because these cases have been around before I took office. But always there will be a judgment call on the part of the client as to the complexity of the case, the significance of the case in the public interest, where it is public law litigation or litigation that affects the taxpayers. And among the things that will have to be looked at, and I think Mr. Maraj would accept this, the FIDIC claims are never straightforward claims. They are among the more complex cases, and on the particular issue that I touched on, which is dealt with from paragraphs 53 to 89 of the judgment of the Privy Council in the Junior Sammy judgment yesterday, that was a very involved argument that the Privy Council spent 36 paragraphs distilling before they were able to come to their conclusion. So my ultimate answer to your question is, it is always a judgment call on the seniority and the number of lawyers that you will retain to defend or to advance a particular case, and it is expected, and I certainly can stand proud on this, that the judgment call to select the attorneys will be a responsible one.
And my final question is both these two cases that you would have spoken about this afternoon, mutually exclusive, as you pointed out, that the facts are different, the parties are different, totally, they're not connected as was being alleged in the public domain. Both deals with contracts being awarded for mega projects and projects in general. Do you think that with the moves taken by your government to implement procurement regulation, you know, would help assist and prevent some of this litigation going forward? I mean, we have already seen that the procurement regulator tribunal would have weighed in on a contract. Do you think that, you know, this will kind of help sift through and prevent such costly litigation going forward?
Well, let me put it in the specific context of the cartel claim. And the cartel claim is a claim that is now going to trial. Defense was due in December 2017, and it's taken us this long to get the Privy Council to order them to put in their defenses. In that claim, the procurement legislation would certainly, if it had been enforced at the time, would certainly have introduced a regulatory scheme by which, to use the language of Mr. Justice James Abood, Dr. Rudal Munilal would not have been allowed to operate as the virtual puppeteer, picking the persons who would do the contracts and for whose benefit or otherwise he would receive checks.
Mr. Amor, Gregory McBurney from the Trinidad Newsday. My final question is well, my only question is a rather simple one. I'm guessing no client goes into a matter anticipating that they would lose. That being said, though, how confident
that client would be a fool.
How confident are you of success in the cartel case?
Well, Mr. McBurney, as I've said, I don't want to comment on the case, but what I would say with confidence, and I have seen the documentation, I know that the EMBD not only did a significant audit, but they have amassed a significant amount of expert evidence, which is now going to be presented to the courts. In fact, it was that expert evidence, partly which persuaded the High Court judge, the Court of Appeal judges, and the Privy Council judges to dismiss the case again, the claim brought by the contractors to say that this case couldn't succeed in a trial. They looked at the case as pleaded, the references to the expert evidence, and said this is a strong arguable case, it must proceed, and defendants, please put in your defenses. That's it. I think, thank you all very much, gentlemen and ladies. very happy to be among my good friends of the media once again. I don't often find myself speaking with the media, but when I do, I always find it a pleasure. Thank you all very much.
The Street 919 FM, your go-to for insightful political discourse. Stay informed, stay engaged, and join the conversation. Connect with us online for the latest updates and thought-provoking discussions. Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation.
So you heard it for yourself, Trinidad and Tobago. The Attorney General didn't mince words. He wasn't as scared as I was yesterday. He didn't laugh. He didn't laugh. What about it? He didn't mince words. He made a statement. I recorded the word that he used because I wanted to come back to that word. He made a statement about Dr. Munilal. What did he say? Conflating. He conflated. He said that Dr. Munilal is conflating. You know? Hello, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hey, good afternoon.
So, you recall yesterday that I made a claim on myself. I called my name.
Yes.
And I was saying to you all, don't be scared about that. Because what they did is, that's the word we used yesterday as well, conflating.
Yes.
So we have received the education of Dr. Eric Williams, you know. Yeah? We in town long time, you know.
Yeah.
We right here. Now let me make the point I'm making. The first point I want to make on this issue, sir. I heard the media personnel, they asked a question. And I want to remind them what Dr. Ali said when Dr. Ali went. In fact, Dr. Ali went to the first conference on corruption in 2016. You know, he wasn't in office 1 year yet, you know. White-collar criminals. And what he said? He's going to follow the money. It doesn't matter how much money. You know why? Because we have got to eradicate as much as possible white-collar criminals from this country. Billions and trillions of dollars are lost worldwide through white-collar criminals. And of course, we know the street crime and so on. But these white-collar criminals hide below. And they say, well, look, them white-collar criminals have deep pockets too, you know. So we have to have deeper pockets to follow them, follow the money. The other thing I want the listeners to hear this carefully. How many times did the Attorney General use the word cartel? And I want to tell you who are listening what is meant by cartel behavior. And I'm going to say it slowly. That is the main case going before the High Court. Cartel conduct. Cartel behavior means two or more persons colluding with each other to thief. That is what in ordinary words, that's what it means. Cartel behavior. And the other one he uses a long, big word called breach of fiduciary duties. Ain't it? Fancy word. You know what that means? Not acting in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I mean? So cartel behavior, whenever you hear that, it means two or more persons colluding with each other to thief. And then you have fiduciary duties, it means people not paying attention to the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very kindly for accepting my call, Pastor Google. Do ensure Diwali, do enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very kindly, sir.
Thank you very much. Trinidad and Tobago. And the Attorney General would have read out for you to hear what are what is the issue? I hear that phone ringing, but I ain't okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Talk to me.
You see, in drugs, you have drug cartel, you know. You have cartels in money laundering too. You see? So the Attorney General bring out the real thing for we, because when I keep telling them the kind of government we had under 2010 to 2015, they didn't like the words I use. But the Attorney General come and call them cartels. Here, Pastor Google. And I watching the TV last night. And I know my Prime Minister call him that Monilal. And I want to know what is the reason he used the words in the what is the oh gosh, what is the press of the Muslim for the Diwali Nagar, saying that he been vindicated, Pastor Google. I wonder what is the meaning of that, because when I listened to the Attorney General yesterday, and then I watching he saying that in the Denari Nagar last night, I want to know what he mean by they being vindicated. That is what I want to find out. Thanks, Pastor Google, for your time.
Well, he ain't vindicated. They hear the Attorney General said he ain't vindicated.
Well, I hear the Attorney General. I tell you, I listened to him yesterday. I listened to you play this morning, but last night I hear the man in the Nagar shouting out loud and clear. So I want to know what is the meaning of that?
Games.
Ah, boy, Pastor Google.
What is the meaning of that? Games.
Pastor Google, you enjoy your day here for me, please?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Games. That is what that is. Games. People playing games. You know what I mean? Games. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. So how are you?
I am all right, sir.
All right. The word is not vindicated. The word is implicated. Apparently, he got his pronunciation mistaken, as the Attorney General has put in the public domain that it is two separate matters. And then he brought the specifics that you didn't want to discuss. He has brought it. He has brought it. So let those who want to speak about this later say anything. The law is the law. Is the law. You got to go to trial, Mr. Monilal. You got to explain what you did, why you did it, and how you did it. You and others. Right? I really hope justice will be served on Pastor. Because here what's going on, it's a narrative going around that he's been unjustly persecuted. Right? But when there was persecuted in the Treasury between 2010 and 2015, it was not a problem. But now, as Dr. Rowley say, the wheels of justice slowly, but they do turn. We have David Lee. We have money that's missing from the Ministry of Housing for houses supposed to be built, and we can't find a nail yet. We also have, Pastor Google, the live sport debacle. We also have the wrapping up of the PR court judgment. The wheels of justice, slowly, but they do turn. Pastor Google, as usual, keep on bringing the facts, my good man. Nocturnal listening, you and the family have enjoyed the rest of the day. Nocturnal listening, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Kola. Kola say you was scared. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
I heard just as the gentleman said, I heard Mr. Monilal yesterday. I heard the Attorney General just now. But my biggest fear in all of this is the judge that this case is going to. That is my fear.
All right. Well, I hear your fear. I hear your fear. Right? I hear your fear. Okay? You know what's my biggest fear? I can tell you what's my biggest fear? My biggest fear is that people take all the chain up that they're hearing that going around and vote out this government and then allow the UNC to come in and throw out the case.
I think we have enough sensible people in this country not to allow that to happen.
Boy, I hear a man with a degree. I hear men with degree and all kind of things saying, you know what I mean, that they must be educated, you know. We say, let me tell you something, Brendan.
I think we have enough sensible people in this country to see to know what time it is not to allow that to ever in life again.
I hear you, sir. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, dear Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, sir.
Pastor Google, I have one question to ask you.
Me?
Yes, and very respectable. Yeah? Let me ask a question. If you saying, and I'm using the word saying in a general sense. So let's say I am corrupt. I was corrupt under the last administration. You think it's wise that this present government give me contracts worth in the billion? Would you accept such? If you know I go
just now. You discussing what we talking about?
Yes.
No, you're not discussing what we talk. We talking about the AG's statements yesterday, the press conference that he had yesterday. That's what we're discussing, you know.
Yes.
And if you were saying to me, remember, you all are the ones who that say innocent until proven guilty, and
no, but it's that point.
You know, you're not answer me this question. Don't you all say that somebody is innocent until proven guilty?
Yes.
Right.
Look,
So if I am saying that you are innocent until proven guilty, there is no judgment against you, and you apply for a contract.
Yes.
Am I to say, because it's alleged that you have done X, Y, and Z, I can't give you the contract? You know that you could take me to court for that?
So what you is saying, as far as what you know, at this present moment, everybody is innocent.
No, I'm answering the question that you asked me.
Okay.
I'm not answering about anybody else. I'm answering the question you asked me. That's one. And two,
yes.
The chief whip of your party is out on $1 million bail, and he sits in our parliament.
Right. But can we go back to EMBD in all due respect?
What are you going back to EMBD about?
Well, you see the point I'm making, Pastor, and I don't want to belabor the point. Yeah? I am saying I find it passing strange, yeah, that if you're saying Junior Sammy, where he was vindicated by the same Privy Council, and then within that same time, he would have been one of the contractors. No, I don't want to call other contractors' names.
No, he was not. No. That is not true. Tabakit, don't do that.
Yeah. All right.
That is not true. And that is exactly what the Attorney General cleared up. So the matter with EMBD and Junior Sammy is a separate matter concerning all the other contractors.
So let's say we move away.
No. I want you to clear. Don't do me that.
Yes.
Listen to me. The matter with EMBD and Junior Sammy is separate from the other contractors. The other contractors' names are not called in that Junior Sammy matter.
So let me ask this question: in what year did Junior Sammy receive the contract?
Did you listen to the press conference that I just played?
I listened to it.
No, you didn't. You didn't. If you listened to the press conference that the Attorney General had, you wouldn't try to come now to swing or to try to play games with this. It is two separate. Listen to me. It is two separate matters. It doesn't matter what year it was. It is two separate matters. Tabaki, don't do me that.
All right. So since you say two separate matters, let's shelve that and move on for your.
And it has no. It's not what I saying. It is a fact. It is what the Attorney General said.
So let me ask one final question, if you permit me, please. I beg your indulgence. Can I have one?
Go ahead. I'll listen to you. Let me see how you want to swing it again.
So, Pastor, what are you really doing, man?
No, because you trying to make me look like a fool by telling me, here what you just said to me, you know, and that's what upset me. Because here what you said to me, Junior Sammy and the other contractors, and I wouldn't name them, they were not a part of anything with Junior Sammy.
But can I just ask you back that question? You know in what year did Junior Sammy, that was within the partnership when he received those contracts?
I believe so.
Okay, I think I rest my case and I plead the fifth. I thank you so much. God bless you.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of this.
Beyond its dazzling array of lights and mouth-watering sweet, at its core, Diwali is a celebration of the victory of light over darkness. It serves as a reminder that no matter how intense the challenges and adversities we face, the light of goodness and righteousness will ultimately prevail. Shub Diwali from the management and staff of The Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on The Street 919 FM.
Under the auspices of the Mayor of Port of Spain, His Worship Chinua Aline, we present Baron's Infinity Concert, Sunday, November 3rd at the Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queens Hall. This show features Sugar Aloes, Gypsy, Tigress, Sherwayne Winchester, Calypso Princess, Dwayne O'Connor, Tizaz de San Juan, Massey Trinidad All-Stars, and of course, the Baron.
I want that Spanish woman to marry me.
Baron. And also Calypso legend King Shortshirt from Antigua. All singers on the night will each perform a selection from the Baron. Your MCs Damian Melville and Sunny Bling. Limited advance tickets only $300. Tickets available at the Queens Hall box office, the Trini Shop, Trin City Mall, Excellent City Center, QueensHallTT.com, and C3 Center in San Fernando. Also, you can get your tickets from Sherma at 755-2915, Delinda 723-4011. Infinity, the concert.
Spite Promotion presents For Spite Reborn. Old school meets new school. Cooler edition. Night before the holiday. On board the Harbor Master. Wednesday, October 30th. Boarding 7 p.m. Sailing promptly at 8. Free jello shots on entry. And prizes for the biggest crew. Look out for Lady Lava. Lady Lava. For tickets, call Ashton 328-3570. Kita 377-2469. Ruben 380-3237. Or Roxanne at 370. Spain. Tickets are $300 or on the day you will pay more. DJs, Heavy Duty and TC, and the massive Dr. High. For Spite Reborn. Old school meets new school. Cooler edition. Wednesday, October 30th. On board the Harbor Master. Lady Lava. Live.
The steam is coming.
Friday night is heated up and the steam is rising. Get ready. Steamy Friday every Friday. Advise the event space, formerly known as Shade. 15
and Noonie. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health, performance, and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember, every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. and Wednesday at 7:05 p.m. live on The Street 919 FM.
The Street 919 FM mobile app is now live. Keep in the loop with all your favorite programs. Be in the know first and carry us wherever you go. Listen and watch us live at the click of your fingertips. Download our mobile app now. Go in your favorite app store, whether it be Android or Apple, and type in The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
All right, I'm back with you. I'm back with you, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I sometimes, you know, you come and you really just try to do your job, and, you know, I just want to do my job.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, good afternoon, members of the listening and viewing public. Two recent judgments have been delivered by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council concerning the Estate Management Development Company Limited and various contractors and individuals, which have attracted a considerable amount of media attention and have been the subject of comment by Mr. Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, Senior Counsel, and by Member of Parliament and former Line Minister for the EMBD, the Honorable Dr. Rudal Munilal. The first matter, High Court Action number 01415 of 2017, involves a claim between the EMBD and different contractor companies and individuals, in which the EMBD is seeking to recover in excess of $300 million, which were paid out by the EMBD in the months immediately preceding the September 7th, 2015 general election, which I shall hereafter refer to as the cartel claim. The second matter involves a claim by the company, Junior Sammy Contractors Limited, against the EMBD with respect to monies allegedly due by the EMBD to the Junior Sammy Company under a contract awarded to that company by the EMBD in February 2015. I shall refer to that matter as the Junior Sammy Company matter. This claim has now been successfully affirmed by the Privy Council yesterday, 29th October 2024. I issued a media statement on the 22nd of October 2024 with respect to the order of the Privy Council of the 8th of October 2024 in the cartel claim, which now allows the trial of EMBD's claim to commence. The significance of the order of the Privy Council in the cartel claim is that the defendant contractors and individuals must now put in their defenses by the 6th of November on hold since December 2017, and that trial can now proceed. Respecting as I do that the cartel claim is a trial which is about to start, I have so far restrained myself from commenting on the claim and the facts in support of the EMBD's claim in that matter, given sub judice principles. However, in the context of the comments which have been made on those two matters, and particularly since yesterday and the ensuing media coverage, I consider it prudent today to make this further statement to have the record stated correctly. Context is always important. The context which is relevant and common to both matters is that on the 7th of September 2015, the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago changed from a People's Partnership government to that of the People's National Movement, now in its 10th year of office, and in which I have the privilege to serve as Attorney General. The contextual significance of that election date, 7th September 2015, is that in large measure, all the very lucrative contracts which were awarded by the EMBD in those two matters were awarded in the months leading up to that general election. The line minister of the EMBD in that period of awards was the Honorable Dr. Rudal Munilal. I beg his pardon. I am constrained today to make the statements that I now do with respect to those two matters, particularly for the reason that since the delivery of the Privy Council's order on the 8th of October, under which he now contemplates the witness box for his trial, the Honorable Dr. Munilal has been issuing statements in the public. In particular, since the judgment yesterday, he has been conflating, and I emphasize the word conflating, mixing up the two matters in a condemnation of the legitimate and justifiable attempts by this government to recover monies in excess of $300 million, which were paid out by the EMBD, allegedly wrongly and fraudulently in the cartel claim when he was the EMBD's line minister. It is important that the public understands that because of the vast expenditure of money paid out by the EMBD prior to that general election, On the change of government on the 7th of September 2015, the EMBD commissioned a significant process of audits and expert investigation and reports to verify the legitimacy of the expenditure of taxpayers' money. In the cartel claim, I do not propose to discuss nor comment on the alleged facts which are still to be interrogated at the trial, which will now finally commence after being on hold since 2017. I will, however, read from certain paragraphs of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, which was given on the 6th of August 2020. I will read from paragraphs 6, 7, 8, 13, and 14 of the judgment of Mr. Justice Abood. And may I say that I have asked my team to make copies of the judgments to which I will refer in this media statement and leave them with you members of the media so that you can verify the accuracy of that which I am going to refer to in those judgments of the High Court and the Privy Council. So if I may start with paragraph 6 of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, delivered on the 6th of August 2020. Quote, on the 12th of October 2017, EMBD filed a defense and counterclaim to each of the claims. In brief, EMBD alleges that the three claimants colluded among themselves and with the other defendants in the related action and were involved in an unlawful means conspiracy which led to the award of 12 contracts and the payment of over $300 million for defective and overpriced work. It is said that the cartel ensured that specific companies were awarded specific contracts at inflated amounts and received monies that were not due for defective and irremediable and/or useless works. Paragraph 7. By way of a general summary, the claims are grounded in A, the tort of unlawful means conspiracy on the part of the three claimants and the other parties named in the related action, namely the three EMBD contractors, Rudal Munilal, a former government minister, and three senior EMBD officers who held offices prior to the change of government in September 2015. B, breach of fiduciary duty on the part of Dr. Munilal and the three senior officers of EMBD. C, knowing receipt and dishonest assistance. D, declarations that the alleged contracts are void or otherwise non-existent as a matter of agency law. E, an account of all the monies paid to the three claimants, together amounting to over $101 million. In the case of a company named, EMBD added, and person named, the principal of that company as a second defendant to the counterclaim and made an additional claim in bribery against him and the named person. The names are there. When you read the judgment, I will leave it to you to determine how much of it you publish. Paragraph 8. EMBD is what is called, quote, a special purpose company, unquote, in Trinidad and Tobago parlance. It is incorporated under the Companies Act. It is a state-owned entity with a politically appointed board. And I skip one line. It goes on to say in paragraph 8, at the material time, EMBD reported to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, of which Dr. Munilal was the then minister. In our vernacular, he is called, quote, the line minister, unquote. Amongst other things, EMBD is mandated to sublease agricultural state lands, manage and develop lands formerly owned by Caroline 1975 Limited, and to develop residential sites on those lands. So that's paragraphs 6, 7, and 8. I go next, ladies and gentlemen, to paragraph 13 of the judgment of Mr. Justice James Abood, as he then was. He is now Mr. Justice James Abood, Justice of Appeal. Paragraph 13. As said earlier, the first defendant, Dr. Munilal, was the line minister. EMBD reported to him or his ministry, and he in turn reported to the cabinet. The second defendant, name called, was at all material times EMBD's acting chief executive officer, CEO, and later, during the period when it is alleged that the conspiracy was in full-blown operation, he was appointed its CEO. At all material times, the third defendant, name called, was EMBD's divisional manager projects, and for the period 27th July to 7th August 2015, its acting CEO. The fourth defendant, name called, was EMBD's resident engineer. All four of these defendants are alleged to be part of the cartel arrangements. As will be examined in greater detail below, it is EMBD's pleaded case that Dr. Munilal operated like EMBD's virtual puppeteer, controlling and directing Mr. Name Called to award the EMBD contracts, or some of them, and directing the delivery of EMBD checks to him personally for onward delivery to the EMBD contractors, excluding and companies excluded. And there are 6 more lines to paragraph 13 that I'm not going to read, but you will have the judgment. You can review it in your leisure. Paragraph 14. It is the EMBD's case that the claimants in the consolidated action and the 2 contractors in the related actions enriched themselves by procuring EMBD contracts, certifications, and payments by way of collusion between themselves and Dr. Munilal and Messrs, and 3 names are called, so that through unlawful means and in breach of the fiduciary duties owed to EMBD by its officers and those owed to the Republic by Dr. Rudal Munilal, specific companies were awarded specific contracts at greatly inflated contract prices and received excessive and unjustified payments for works that were incomplete or defective or both. End of quote, paragraph 14. Those are the paragraphs of Justice James Aboud's judgment that I draw to your attention, and as I have said, I will be leaving copies of that judgment for you members of the media.
Right, I want to stop it there. So I'm glad that the Attorney General would have read out the judgment by Justice Aboud. But you know what? You see, I am not someone who like to just come here and sit down and talk, you know, and do all my facts, you know. You know that? And I don't like the games that some people like to play. So I have 2 videos I want to play for you. 2 videos. Well, I feel I would just play one. I don't know how I feel. Because let me tell you something, eh? You see me? You see the games? And you see the hate that is being pushed on this land? Using religion and using race? It's a sad thing. But take a listen to this. Take a look at this and listen to this. Get yourself in a gear, tabakit.
Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi has filed for judicial assistance in the United States to subpoena bank records of local contractors and their families in order to trace the source of funds connected to multi-million-dollar properties bought in Florida. These contractors were named in 2016 civil lawsuit to determine whether the monies they allegedly corruptly received in Trinidad and Tobago were funneled to U.S. bank accounts. In the application that was filed in October 2017 at the U.S. court, the state indicated that the evidence would assist in a pending civil matter before the Trinidad and Tobago High Court of Justice on behalf of HTC, EFCL, and EMBD and their line ministries. The AG explained in the court documents that they were seeking evidence to support a claim filed by the HTC and its line ministry against 9 defendants and to support a series of claims made by punitive claimants and the respective line ministries against several contractors and public officials in Trinidad and Tobago for fraud, bid rigging, breach of fiduciary duty, among other things. In 2016, then Minister in the Office of the Attorney General Stuart Young called a news conference outlining the contemplated civil action brought against the named contractors who allegedly engaged in illicit cartel behavior prior to the September 2015 general election. Back then, Young had identified the companies shown here. In court documents obtained by TV6 from the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, the Trinidad and Tobago government said it is believed that some of the contemplated defendants used the proceeds of this corruption scheme to purchase real property and or open bank accounts in the Southern District of Florida. The Trinidad and Tobago government is seeking discovery on this property owned by the Ramnaths at Northwest 120th Avenue Plantation, Florida, which real estate websites valued between US $1.7 and $2 million. And this high-rise apartment owned by the Ramits, a Diplomat Oceanfront Residences condominium in Fort Lauderdale on the beachfront, which can fetch from anywhere between US $1.1 to $7.9 million. Young names several discovery targets that they expect to be subpoenaed to testify at the deposition in a civil action at the Attorney's Law Office of Arnaldo Lacayo, representing the TT government in this matter. The government asked that real estate agents involved in the transactions of the properties, lawyers, and other related businesses make themselves available at a date and time to be announced. Other real estate agents involved in the purchase of other unnamed properties were summoned to testify, as well as TNM Enterprises Florida Incorporation, Global Supplies Florida, J2 Investments registered in Florida, all owned by Taradath Ramnath and his wife. There were also requests to subpoena the bank records of Wells Fargo for the following individuals. They included Arvin Kalu, his wife Anya Kalu, as well as his brothers Pravin and Aaron Kalu and mother Kalwati. Added to that list was Premchand Ramit, now deceased, and other members of his family. Also Taradat Ramnath, his wife Meena Ramnath, and daughter Jimny Ramnath. A similar request was also made to JP Morgan Chase Bank to subpoena the bank records of TNM Enterprises, as well as J2 Investments Incorporation, Global Supplies Florida, as well as the Ramnaths, including his son Jason Ramnath, a senior standing alongside a Lamborghini. However, on July 23rd of this year, the Attorney General through Lacayo filed a motion to amend the application asking for the scope of financial institutions and businesses that might have conducted business with some of the contemplated defendants be widened. 1 day later, Judge Alicia Ortiz-Reyes granted the motion, allowing the AG to further collect evidence from several other banks in Florida, as well as from Meena Ramnath, the wife of one of the defendants. Permissions was also granted for collection evidence from Jamie Ramnath, the daughter of one of the contemplated defendants, who is said to be the treasurer of J2 Investments and is believed to have a substantial amount of the proceeds of fraud in her account at JP Morgan Chase. Both women reside in Florida, the court documents revealed. What the AG also noted in his amended application was that the registered agent for the company's Global Supplies Florida, J2 Investments, and TM Enterprises Florida, owned by TN Ramnath, Zafia Khan, in a deposition given on December 12, 2017, revealed Ms. Khan did not know what the business of each company was, despite appearing for them as registered agent. Moreover, bank statements produced by Ms. Khan on behalf of the companies show that the companies received loans from TNR. Judge Reyes, in granting the amended application, stated that it is not unduly intrusive or burdensome as the application requests evidence of the discovery targets. The judge also indicated these parties will not be parties to the proceedings in Trinidad and are not expected to become parties. Thus, the need for this discovery is more apparent. In late August, Meena Ramnath and her daughter Jamie filed a motion to quash the subpoena for deposition through their lawyer Elizabeth Parker. The Ramnaths claim an undue burden has been placed on them and believe the sole purpose of the subpoenas for deposition is to harass and annoy. The judge reserved judgment on this motion when the matter was heard on the 6th of this month. Meanwhile, the substantive hearing filed by the AG for judicial assistance was expected to be heard late yesterday evening before Judge Reyes at the U.S. Courthouse in Miami. Since September 3rd, TV6 News had reached out to AG Faris Al-Rawi and sent documents and questions to him. All he would say was that specific things were being done. WhatsApp messages also to Minister of National Security Stuart Young were read, but no response was forthcoming. Mark Basant, TV6 News.
I hope you all listen to that. You all listen to that? You all understanding how far this thing go? Eh? But you know what? I want to play this for you now. I was going to play it, but then I say, you know what, Google? Play it. Because too much of us heads are buried in the sand. And we don't understand how people see us and view us and look at us. Me ain't foolish, I'm not foolish. And this is not the first time they have referred to us, black people, as Rawan. It has been done before. So while you want to pretend and tote feelings and want to hate for whatever reason, we don't have to contend with people referring to us as a certain way. With hate, you know. And now you want to come. Look, I'm playing the video. I want you to listen to this, you know. I want you to listen to this. I have a real issue with it, you know. I have an issue with it. Some of you may not, because you don't know your worth, and they don't know who you are. So you could allow people to call you Rawan.
That their scandalous act of victimization at the Diwali Nagar last Saturday, in which they cut the feed when the leader of the opposition was about to speak on the claim that they were upgraded. This is the first time people ever upgrade and downgrade at the same time. I want to tell the people at TTT, in a few months a new government will take office and they will account for that.
This is the second time he threatening people. He threatened the police officers and tell them, we have to tell them. Now he threatening the workers of TTT. Only go ahead.
They will account for that most scandalous act. Now I know why Senator Sukai made that statement. He was referring to the government and TTT. That is darkness over light. So tonight I put the TTT management directors on notice that they will have to answer, not just to me, but to others, for that act of victimization, that act of prejudice, that scandalous and outrageous act that they committed against the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But the voice of Kamla Prasad Bisesa is strong, it is powerful, and it will filter down to every single man, woman, and child, and every elector. And we will not depend on TTT to carry our message, as we do not depend on them tonight to carry our message. So tonight, brothers and sisters, I crave your indulgence to tell you that in the coming months, we will decimate Rawan. We will destroy Rawan. And that evil contingent that follows him. We will destroy them all in a few months. We give you that assurance. We will conquer evil, and we will return Trinidad and Tobago to Ayodhya status, to be governed with peace, bliss, happiness, prosperity, opportunity, and security for all members of our society. So thank you for your attention, brothers and sisters, at this great moment.
You see me? Me play some music, eh? Me come over the people and them live. Me go and play some music. And look to go in my place. Because if Miss Bisesa at a press conference call us Rawan. You at a Diwali celebration, bringing in politics and calling, saying, but you will destroy Rawan. What is really going on, boy? What really going on? So, you know, if Christians were to use biblical leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because you'll get yourself in trouble. You'll get yourself in trouble. You'll get yourself in problems. Look for some music to play and go from this place. Because you'll get yourself in some trouble. Are we serious, boy? And we coming to defend that? We coming to lift up them hand and say, yeah, I as a Rawan, I who they consider to be a Rawan, must lift up my hand and say, yeah, I go vote for you. A Rawan like me. Look, I tell you, let me hush my mouth, you know, because I will say something and I'll get in trouble. So let me look for some music to play. Where's the music to play in this place? Because, what's going on, Playboy? I don't even know what to play. What to play? I'm going to play Charles, yeah?
Hello, Charlie. I want it now. A jiggy calypso. King Charles. People just...
I want a little to hear me, you know. If you calling me by that name and you want me to vote for you, I must come here and support you. I must come here and stay quiet, say nothing, don't talk about the issues, what is going on. Right? Don't do it. You calling people Rawan, you know. And we must just turn a blind eye to that. You know, I'm so educated and bright and have a degree. And a man using religious connotations to describe me. And I must just ignore that. I am who you want to vote for you. Me. Olio. I see all your calling and I'm afraid to take all your calls. I'm being real. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Hugo. Was she referring to ABNTC also?
I don't know who you was. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I hope the workers on TTT. I hope the workers at TTT hear him. I hope the police officers hear him. This man going around threatening everybody when they get in office, you know. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Yeah.
Do not be discouraged. Do not let your pressure be raised. This is what these people have to resort to because the stats are being piled against them every day in every way. The facts are coming forth. So as Mr. Tabaki tried to derail the conversation because why he must ask you a question is the Attorney General you have to ask because he's the man with all the facts. So you don't take on more than what you're supposed to take on, Pastor. You just present the facts, big man. Don't study them. Because at the end of the day, right, whatever a man sow it, that he shall reap. So they can call you around wherever. It have a place for them. And let me remind you again, quoting the great Prime Minister, the wheels of justice slowly, what they do to be encouraged, Pastor Gould, they're going to try to mess with you. Don't allow them. Because this is not about you. This is about all of us and the future of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And protected, and us being protected from a set of miscreant cartel members because all of them is a cartel. That whole thing is a cartel. You're not you saying so, I saying so. So what has to be done is for the authorities, when the time for people to vote, make sure that there are proper systems in place to prevent anything untoward from going on, because these people will go to any lengths, any means to achieve the goal. So you be encouraged, big man. Don't get yourself flustered. Remember the work that you're doing. You gotta expect these kind of things that people trying to derail you. But I want to know what they're going to say because the Attorney General, Mr. Reginald Arma SC, come out and state the specifics that you didn't want to talk about. he said, and also about the fact that there has been a long-established pattern of behavior by T.N. Ramnath and the other people mentioned in the report that you have there. That is not you saying that you're just presenting the facts as you're supposed to. As you're supposed to. Be encouraged, big man. Be encouraged. God is on your side. There are more for you than against him. Be encouraged, big man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Their act, their scandalous act of victimization at the Diwali Nagar last Saturday, in which they cut the feed when the leader of the opposition was about to speak on the claim that they were upgraded. This is the first time people ever upgrade and downgrade at the same time. I want to tell the people at TTT, in a few months a new government will take office and they will account for that. They will account for that most scandalous act. Now I know why Senator Sukai made that statement. He was referring to the government and TTT. That is darkness over light. So tonight I put the TTT management directors on notice that they will have to answer, not just to me, but to others, for that act of victimization, that act of prejudice, that scandalous and outrageous act that they committed against the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But the voice of Kamla Prasad Bisesa is strong, it is powerful, and it will filter down to every single man, woman, and child, and every elector. And we will not depend on TTT to carry our message, as we do not depend on them tonight to carry our message. So tonight, brothers and sisters, I crave your indulgence to tell you that in the coming months, we will decimate Rawan. We will destroy Rawan. And that evil contingent that follows him. We will destroy them all in a few months. We give you that assurance. We will conquer evil, and we will return Trinidad and Tobago to Ayodhya status, to be governed with peace, bliss, happiness, prosperity, opportunity, and security for all members of our society. So thank you for your attention, brothers and sisters, at this great moment.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, I now get the definition of lock them up and find the evidence. So they had a private arrangement with TTT. What that has to do with anybody else but TTT. Why they cannot sort out the matter with TTT now? Why he have to use political power to do that? And it's not about the opposition leader, because he don't want the opposition leader there. Because he wants to be the leader. So why you want to use our taxpayers' money and your power, if you should get that, to intimidate and sue the taxpayers, because TPP, so it's a state-owned, right? And to use your power, and maybe people in the judiciary to give you a good result, the result you want, Mr. Munira. This is outrageous, and I don't know. I searched into the word. This is outrageous. This is outrageous, and it should be condemned. Take care.
Thank you very much, caller. Wow. He threatened the police, now he threatening TTT workers, and they must go and vote for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Blessed day to you, my brother. That guy gone clear, but I really not on him. I'm looking at our national awardee, Mr. Tabaki. You think these people easy? Come to raise your pressure? But Pastor Google, you stronger than that thing. You're really stronger than that. They can carry you down that road. And they were never, ever about country, and I would never stop saying that. You have a godly day.
Thank you very much.
The love money. Great, Jim.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
You see how desperate people are. They rather sink a whole country to save themselves. And you have foolish people failing to recognize they're using them as pawns to save themselves. All those who come in over and defending them, how much land they have in Miami, how much land they have outside the country. Foolish. These people and them just using them as shield to defend themselves. Right? They're using effigies and what have you to describe us. I know where you want to go into Pastor Google. You understand me? If we use the same effigies, you know, like Beelzebub. You understand me? And if we use the same like Alibaba and the thieves.
If we were to use words like Jezebel.
Yeah, Jezebel, you understand me? You know, everybody will want to say that it's becoming offensive.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
But the population have to recognize there's a few people trying to use them as human shields to save themselves from jail.
Yeah.
And the stupidities come over the phone and the radio, you understand me? They have a sense, they have nothing, and defending these people who ship our money overseas. All our money is overseas, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't invest it here. They're paying land tax over there.
Yes.
You understand me? They're not paying land tax here. You understand me? All of them got their money overseas, paying land tax, their family overseas, and the jokers and them here coming over the thing and defending them. Pastor Google, you be strong, brother.
Yeah,
you understand me? They
Yeah.
are more with you than against you. Don't worry about it. You be strong.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's not when they win. They're not winning anything. It's if. You say when. Don't say when, because they will never come back in power to run this country again. I say so. Never. Thank you very much, and God bless you, my darling.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, a pleasant good afternoon to you. Pastor Google, you know, boy, I all live in Virginia, and I say, boy, I give my partner, Pastor Google, a call. Pastor Google, can I ask you a question? It's Diwali in Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
So let me say happy Diwali to all the Indian citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and the world. Pastor Google, I understand there was a senator, a PNM senator, who talked about he added back to from darkness to light. But I want to say this, I want to know how come Prime Minister Rowley didn't attend former MP Nylon Hippolyte funeral? I'm asking a question. Because to me, Pastor Google, when we are celebrating a day, I hear the funeral was yesterday, I ain't sure. And just imagine, Pastor Google, a man who represented the PNM, the Prime Minister, didn't have the common decency to show up to the man's funeral. What kind of Prime Minister we have in Trinidad? What kind of political leader the PNM
First to begin, you don't know and I don't know when was the funeral. I don't know when was the funeral. I don't know if you not sure when was the funeral. And remember well, find out what day now, because remember Dr. Rowley.
All right.
Dr. Rowley came into the country. Dr. Rowley came back into the country when?
Pastor Gogo, don't try to defend that now.
No, I'm asking a question. Remember, you don't know the day. You telling me that you don't know the day.
But listen, it's my understanding the funeral was yesterday. I read Birdie tell me that. I read Birdie whisper in my left ear that yesterday was the funeral, and Prime Minister Rowley
did not attend the funeral. Okay, well, I will find out. I will find out. If yesterday was the funeral.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Okay, then. Bye. Yeah. So, because Dr. Rowley did not attend Nylon Hippolyte funeral, he's the worst leader. Look, only leave me alone now. Are you sick, we? Hello, good afternoon.
Wall Street? My God, my boy. Will you come in like a like stale food? Bloody hell.
Oh gosh. Lady make me laugh. Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Boy, I seen a Trump player here, boy. Oh God.
It's only Trump lies and more lies and more lies. And they want to win an election on lies.
All the time. All the time.
Boy, this is one time light go conquer
darkness. Yeah, man.
Light go conquer darkness.
Thank you, caller. You make me laugh, yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something, I have a brethren sing a song, a Rastaman song day.
What you sing?
See, no matter how rough it is,
yeah,
you can't give up Pastor Google. You mustn't give up Pastor Google. You see, when truth and a man is a difficult thing to handle, you know? Yeah? So, big brother, don't matter the circumstance, don't give up. You mustn't give up. Just keep the fire burning, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't like to hear when you want to just let it go because of certain influencers. You know we had the influencers. Blow them away, Pastor Google, and not give up. Yeah, big brother?
Yeah, man.
Just keep the fire burning, and we here to help you keep the fire burning. Yeah?
Yeah, man. Talk.
Have a blessed one.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Google. Miss Tego here.
Yeah. What's going on?
I always say, I have a serious problem. Like this thing, no matter what, it's sending me crazy. I have a 12-year-old going secondary school. He's 12 years, he's now in Form 1. So he pays and break. How all they could send him this big boy for 5 days to bring him back in his school. He's a monster.
Which school is this?
Bataria. I don't know, is the school Bataria? Bataria South.
Bataria South?
I can't live with that.
All right, well, I going down there.
I have to live by that school. I cannot understand that. It's like a nightmare to me, Pastor Google.
All right, well, I going down there.
The same little baby who used to be mine, who sang this song. Yeah.
Don't worry, we will talk. I will go down there.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, we will talk. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hey, Mr. Paria.
Yes, I miss you. Sharon program on 91.9.
Well, they used to say,
that's what you call it punishment.
Well, they used to say this was a PNM station, you know, that's what they used to say, you know.
I don't care what they said. We listen to real talk.
Well, it's a no PNM station again.
Well, I don't care what they say, but now we get a little real talk and talk, we're going to come back again. Don't worry, Pastor Google.
All right,
I want to say something to Wall Street. Bro, Dr. Rowley really do this man something, man. You know why I'm upset with this man? This man have all Trump to deal with the garbage that he calling them in Jersey. Real garbage. Shut your mouth and get out of Trinidad and Tobago business. Wall Street, you call Young Hippolyte family and wish them condolences. You're talking after that garbage. You ever call to tell me? I show you here, you will say. You ever call me here that man to give him good, to say, well, whatever. Look, Wall Street has to ugly mouth now. Have a good day, Pastor. Real man, this man, you know.
Oh, Lord, don't let him upset you, D. Let me show.
He's too out of order for a big man with his teeth. He really named Wall false teeth into. That's ugly teeth. He must stop talking.
Oh,
have a nice day.
All right. I want to play a video to cheer Oli up a little bit. Only remember this fella. No matter a guy called Cuban boy. Well, Cuban boy did a video, and I want to show Oli this video. Cuban boy. You see, we don't appreciate what we have, you know. Only know that we don't appreciate what we have. We don't appreciate what we have. But Cuban boy appreciate. So let me take this call, and right after this call, I'm going to show you a video with Cuban boy talking about Trinidad and Tobago health system. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon again, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Gugu, that is a veiled threat. What Mr. Monilal did with regard to TNTech, that's a threat.
TTT.
You understand me?
Yeah, TTT workers.
It's a threat. You understand me? And I want to see how the public and the authority will deal with person like that threatening people, workers.
With the union, let me talk the things them now. Where Ansel Roger and all of them. Right? With the union.
Right? Barring that, we're going to talk about Cuban. This country, partly everything is subsidized. The only problem we really have in this country is crime, you know.
Yes.
Both the white collar crime, which them fellas involved in.
Yes.
Right? And blue collar crime.
Yeah.
So them can't fix crime because them is the part of the problem. Them can't fix crime.
Thank you. Let me go to Cuban boy. Take a listen. Yeah, take a listen.
I love my country, Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday I come into the hospital, Eric William in Montauk with my 2 children, right? Sick with vomit, fever, cough, head pain, and bones pain, and more problems. I come in 9 o'clock in the morning, right? The doctor check my children, nice attention. The hospital is real clean. Good attention, boy. Nice doctor. The toilet is more clean than the toilet from my house. But the more important, boy, the doctor give me that paper, the antibiotic free for my children, boy. Huh?
The man said the toilet in the hospital cleaner than the toilet we live in.
Antibiotic free, boy. Nah. I can't believe it, boy. Huh? Oh my gosh. I go into the pharmacy to check it's true or lie, boy. And listen, in Forespin today, some people call me Cuban, boy. 1K free for you, look. Boy, 1K free. And the medication free. I go into the pharmacy from Montauk Hospital. Eric William, I tell you this true or lie?
Welcome, one and all to the land of death. Trinity to the bone, Trinity to the bone.
Olio, it's true. Boy. The hospital give me free the antibiotic for my children. Look, 2 bottles, right? Ta-tan. The tablets. And that's good job, boy. Good job. That don't happen in Cuba and Venezuela, no? In Cuba and Venezuela, plenty money, but only in Trinidad and Tobago, free antibiotics in the hospital. In Eric Williams. Good job, boy. Okay, thank you to the. Yes, no, I can't say the name. Thank you to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago for the good job, right? Nice attention in the hospital, Eric Williams. Nice service and nice doctor. Thank you, Prime Minister. Continue with the good job. I love my...
So when we, that's what I tell you, when we by talking Trinidad and Tobago, I had the worst to say about this country. Imagine Cuban boy, If only know who is Cuban boy, they wouldn't even want me to play him. Racist little fella. You understand? You want to go there? You really want to go there with Cuban boy? Huh? We really want to go there with Cuban boy? But Cuban boy had a taste of the real Trini. He say he's Trini now. Huh? I tell you, me, boy. Sometimes, anyway, we leave that there. Trinidad and Tobago, I am out of here. Have a blessed day. Continue to enjoy the rest of your holiday. Understand? But all the people who call him Rawan and want me to vote for them, something wrong. And TTT workers, where are you all? Where is your union to stand up in defense of Olia? The man say when he reach back in office, Olia have to answer. Not Olia alone, police. But the police answered him back. Yeah. TTT, Olia need to answer him back. What you telling me about? You hear the nasty, oh, they have to answer? Wow. I out of here. I'm gonna need some roti. Goodbye.
Beyond its dazzling array of lights and mouth-watering sweet, at its core, Diwali is a celebration of the victory of light over darkness. It serves as a reminder that no matter how intense the challenges and adversities we face, the light of goodness and